All right. So, welcome back, everyone. Though a little bit late today, but welcome back to a series of wonders event. I'm your humble DM Robin, joining us today by Kenzie, our dwarf fighter Hamura, dwarf cleric Hamura. Sorry,
Okay.
Stefan, play as Rivani, the human
Hello.
sorcerer. Yeah, and Nathan, play as Viking or Asmar Paladin. We're down one today, Kat, who's unavailable today, but we'll continue with a more side story today. So yeah, previously, you guys definitely escaped the Underdark with a little bit of help from the entrapped uh, Celestial, who was held captive and imprisoned inside a Earth Elemental suit, apparently, by the Golden Clyde dwarfs, who, in ancient times, uh, entrapped the Celestial to do their biddings. However, the Celestial, who calls himself Lucian, for easier to remember purposes, kind of set them up in the path of doom by teaching them the forbidden knowledge of how to build a soul vessel, and they crafted the chalice of the damned, which in result doomed them all. With a little bit of help from the grand reveal of Rivani's mother, Rose, uh, who apparently is kind of a favored one in sorry, in Merkel's eyes, and she might not be dead. Uh, for her last, like the Celestial said, claimed that she's been working alongside with him, like 250 years ago. So yeah, maybe she's not dead. Maybe, just maybe. Well, in anyway, yeah. Anyway, also, Lucian kind of mentioned that repeatedly, like everyone else, to Viking about, oh, you might be the prepped vessel for Merkel's descending. So there's that. However, they're finally back and out of the Underdark, and now they're facing down a huge force, and that's where we'll begin today. So, warm sunlight shines through the tall tree lines and lights up the small path that delves deeper into the woods. Morning birds chirping and singing in harmony as flowers wave gently under the soft breeze. It feels as if you're walking into a well attended secret garden, and even the air smells magical. So, for your first, from what you can tell, it's probably morning. You'd walk for uh, a few hours of travel and delve deeper into the woods. Though the path doesn't look ideal with Tolly's guide, which she assists herself with the winged boots and spotted the smoke from afar, and that's where you're headed. With a few constant adjustment, you are pretty sure you're on the right path. It's just that the path looks smaller and eventually it ends. So currently you're in the wilderness with a small stream of water, of river, sort of, just flows down through from the wooden islands to wooden islands. So yeah, what would you guys like to do at this point? To continue forward, or by the way, before you do anything else, you kind of feel like this huge empty gape inside your stomach, and then you guys all realize you haven't been eating for days. Well, properly, I mean. The Drows does feed you guys with uh, mold rations and bad stuff that's not good for your health. Yeah, and your rations when you reclaimed your items are gone apparently. So yeah, you guys survived through probably some form of magic that was altered in the Lost Temple because none of you felt hungry before in the Underdark, but now you're famished. So, what would you guys like to do at this point? You're too hungry that you can't even walk another step.
Hmm. Well, I've mostly been trying to distract myself from my hunger by admiring the new book that Hamura has,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and sort of like basically just like sort of gushing all about it and stuff like that.
Okay. So you're
I've I've basically been talking for a while now.
okay. So you're just talking. Well, in your hunger state, you guys see Rivani is not stopped by her hunger, but still talking. That's basically it.
I
I'm just gonna shove the book at her to make her shut up for a bit. Just
Okay.
take it. I'm gonna go hunt something. Just read.
Okay.
Do I
Oh,
still
thank
have
you.
like the 40 pounds of fish in the bag of holding?
Yes, but it's when you took it out, it's like still raw. You might need to cook it. Plus it's not 40 pounds anymore. For Cora, along when you guys showed up on the surface, she tagged along, and apparently she's been constantly eating stuff. In the
I had
pouch.
21 pounds originally.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
it's down to a quarter right now. So
So like
probably
5 pounds.
5 pound, 4.5 pounds, probably. Yeah.
I'm like,
And when you're searching for her, she's still eating. So
Cora, I love you, man. Or lady, but how are you not the size of Suits?
it's the feeling mostly. You see, I don't have the normal digest system like an actual animal, but I get the taste from it, and it fits me mentally.
Hmm. Fair enough. We're about to die here from lack of eating, so you want to hold off on gorging yourself for a few minutes, and while we maybe try
I
and
guess I could do
survive.
that. She shrugged, like a cat shrug, like, well, okay. I don't need it right away, but yeah, maybe later.
You know, if you stick with me, we're gonna get some delicious food for you.
Yeah, sure thing. And
I'll
she
look after you, and I
Yeah.
tap her on her head.
Okay, as you tap her head, she hop onto your shoulder, and yeah, it's like just kind of nest herself there.
I look to the others. I'm like, so we
Fish?
start a fire,
Yeah.
fish for food.
Nine is like, okay, I guess I'll go searching for some comburant, or woods, anything that could set up a fire. Yeah, and he walks along with Hamura into the woods.
As Tamura's walking away,
Bye, nerd.
I'm sort of like I'm going like, oh wow, thank you. Wait, do you want me to give you my ring in exchange for it?
You can keep it. I don't. I'm leaving. I'm gonna go get
You
food.
sure? You sure?
Yeah,
It's no problem at all.
Okay. Okie dokie. All good.
Tali is
Okay.
actually gonna sit right next to the camp just because she's way too tired to move. She's like, I'm so hungry. Basically. Yeah, so you guys, like, it's a forest, so you are fairly easy to find, like, woods, and with your hammer fist, you're easily to smack it down and, like, small size and chop it down to, like, firewood. and you bring them back, and you easily set up the bonfire. Campfire, actually.
Cool.
So yeah, you start cooking the fish. It's a little bit dry, but it's not rotten. Like the bag of holding does a tremendous job in keeping it like where it was at originally. So yeah, you separate into 4. 9 is not really eating anything. You see him like bend over and do a weird kind of like a gesture or like a kind of stuff he's been touching, and they grow kind of gray and eventually turn dark and crumbles into dust. Yeah.
Did you say he crumbled into dust?
No, he touched the stuff
Oh.
he touched. It's more like he's been for lack
sucking
of
the
better
life
word,
out of stuff.
siphoning
Like he's
energy.
absorbing it. Yeah.
Neat trick.
I envy you guys. He looks at you while eating food and anything. He's like, you see, I don't get the sort of digest system like you guys. All I can do is siphoning the life out of stuff surrounding me to support me from going. So
That's fine.
That include people?
well, I normally avoid direct contact with like humanoid or like normal people with intelligence. For I get a bad feeling if I start, I might not be able to come back.
Good to know.
And he just like sits there and watch you guys digest the food. You can sense that he's really kind of like longing for that feeling to know how food actually tastes. Yeah.
It's at that point where it's at that point where I remember how hungry I am. And I'm busy just sort of scarfing my fish down.
Okay, so you just eating your fish hungrily as like hunger I finally caught up to your stomach. It's like it's just stuffing stuff inside. Yeah, so you guys probably finish the whole like remaining fish. Yeah, for your purely hungry. And yeah. After
I almost forgot what what good food tasted like. This is amazing. This is so good.
Okay. Yeah. So as you guys finish, it's about not like noon or afternoon ish, for the sun sets a little bit. Yeah. And do you wish to move forward? You guys actually you guys feel a little bit tired at this point because you haven't rested for a long time. So if you guys wish to take a rest, it's fine over here. 9 sits up. Like it's a nice spot. If you guys like to rest, I can stay guard.
It's probably a good thing, or probably, what we've gone through, we probably should rest.
Probably, that's a good plan. Yeah.
Okay.
No argument for me.
All right. So you guys all like took a long rest or short rest? Depends on you.
I pretty much just sort of start studying the book as much as I can before I get tired and have to sleep.
Okay. So
I would imagine us eating would have been a short rest.
Yeah.
Right? Because we had to cook and prepare fire and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a long rest is what I would suggest.
Okay. So yeah. All right. So Tolly's like, all right, I'll stay the first shift. And then 9 for the rest of the night. Yeah, Nine's like, fine. You guys can rest for now. You've done a tremendous job of getting out and everything. So yeah, the night passes without anything out of the ordinary. No alarm. No beast. No wandering monsters to try to eat you. For the first time in your long journey, you feel quite safe, actually. You woke up the next morning with no signs of anything else. And you see Nine is sitting there like you last saw him before he went to bed. Yep. Everything seems fine.
I wanted, before we had our long rest, I would remind Hamura, I'm like, yeah, I still have these maces, and I like start pulling out the maces in the bag of holding. They're missing wooden handles, so I'm like, we might be able to get some more money for this if you fixed them up. Just let me know.
Or made an iron handle out of it. It's something.
Or if you want to destroy them again, it's up to you.
I'll look at them when I have tools at hand.
Yep. And the other thing is, I've actually been wearing that headband.
Yes.
So I'm smart now.
Yes, you've been thinking clearly than normal. So you're tuned to the headband. Yeah. You got 19 intelligence. Yes. Now you know why Warco was so smart when you ask him stuff. It's like, it's probably the headband. Right. So
after I wake up, I'm like,
okay.
What the hell? How did we get here? Like, I start contemplating the meaning of life and stuff. It's like, what's going on?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't quite know.
Okay. So as you're doing a deep reflect on your life, you guys kind of caught a glimpse of kind of like sparkling light from afar. You don't hear anything. It just looks, maybe it's a firefly, maybe it's something, you're not certain. What would you guys like to do?
It's morning now, right?
Yeah, it's about 8 in the morning. Yeah.
I'm like, what's that? I point.
Okay. As you point towards it, it blinks and kind of vanished, and then reappeared from a further away direction.
Should we follow it?
I've never seen anything like this before, so and I don't know where we are, so I'm like,
Can I check to see if I know what that is?
Okay. Roll me a survival check. Okay. It's probably just fireflies. You're not sure. Forests, they play tricks on your mind. Yeah. Probably just fireflies. Tolly's like, maybe I can go up and see where the smoke is. After all, we follow the smoke, right? And she activate her wing boots and fly above the tree lines. And then she says, guys, I don't see the smoke anymore.
Wait, what? What do you mean you don't see smoke?
I mean, the probably the town hasn't woke up yet. But wait, it's already. I don't know. It doesn't look. It looks like the same direction we're going. It's just that there's no smoke ahead.
is Core still there?
Yeah, Cora is still like. To your surprise, Cora didn't return from the night. She stays. Yeah, all the way.
I looked to her. I'm like, do you know where we are?
We're in the forest.
Yeah, but
She
where?
looks at you like.
What forest?
I mean, I don't know. Just forest. I mean, don't look at me like that. I'm just a cat. Come on. Well, not really cat, but hey.
I look at her. I'm like, we know you're more than a cat. Come on.
I know,
Like,
but
most
that doesn't
cats don't
mean
talk.
I have impeccable direction. Impeccable sense of direction. You know.
No, but I know you can smell fish through a bag of holding, so you've got a pretty good nose on you.
Well, provided I know where you like what smell you want me to follow. I mean, if you want me to follow a path, then provide me with something, right?
Take us to the ocean. Smell for the ocean.
Smell for the ocean. Okay. And she starts sniffing around, kind of like an actual cat starts sniffing around. After a while, she turns back and says, "Oh, we're far away from ocean. I can tell you that. We do have a waterfall ahead of us, like, well, at least a large stream of water, for I can tell. Maybe a lake, maybe a waterfall. I'm not sure."
Can you tell what direction the smoke was?
So
where the fire was?
Tolly responds you guys and says, it was north. Well, the last time I saw it, it was north.
Well, do we want to head north, guys?
Sure.
Cora kind of chimes in and says, well, the lake or the large pool of water also smells north. So, if you guys want to follow that direction.
North it is.
Sounds good to me, I guess. I'm not really sure where we are either, honestly.
Okay. So, you guys started walking on your way and towards north, with a few adjustments by Tolly with the help of wing boots. You guys think you're on the right track, but like I said, the path was already gone at this point. You're just walking in, you think it's uncharted territory. And as you guys delve deeper and deeper into the woods, the lights, like the tree line, starts to block out the lights. It doesn't look scary or gloomy or anything, but it feels like you're losing sunlight, and it's getting a little bit harder to see without the light. For Riveni, the others, you guys all have dark vision, so you're fine. And yeah, as you walk deeper and deeper, you notice that the light that was blinking in front of you guys earlier kind of pops up in front of you, and kind of, you're not sure, waving, dancing?
I'm not sure about that.
So, at this moment, roll me
Do we think
a perception check. Okay. So, Viking, you
9.
think it's definitely not a firefly.
Yeah, by the way that thing's moving, I don't think it's Firefly, guys.
maybe we should stop for a bit. It's kind of getting dark, and I'm not gonna be able to see very well soon.
I'll pick up a rock,
Mm-hmm.
and cast light on it, and then toss it to Ravani.
Okay. So
I'm like, here you go.
with that,
Hope that
the
helps.
light source.
Uh,
So
Thank you.
the twinkling light that was dancing, once you cast the light cantrip, it kind of flies over to Ravani and kind of perches on the rock. Yep.
Oh,
Can I do
hello there, little guy.
You don't see what's inside though. To you, it's just like a spark of light. Okay.
I don't see anything.
Okay. So actually, you do. You see trees and vines that wasn't there. Like the trees and vines, as you walk deeper into the woods, they appears normally. However, this part it seemed thicken the vines and the trees. They just intertwine and gets thickened and covered up the grass. That's all you see. Okay.
I'll I sort of try and touch the spark of light,
Okay.
just because I'm not really sure what it is.
Okay. As you reach towards it, you kind of feel this gentle zap, and you kind of zapped for a while. It doesn't hurt you,
Yeah.
but it's more like it's like electrocuted a little bit, and yeah. Roll me
I
looked
a
at Cora.
perception check again, Ruvani. Okay.
Freaking one.
The spark of light just disappeared. For you, it's gone.
Like start looking around and like, hey, where did that small spark go? Did anyone see where the spark went?
Should we do a check or?
Viking, with your natural 20 still in effect, you notice that the spark of light flies off into the distance to Ravani's left.
It went that way, and I point off to the left.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Are we gonna follow
but-
it?
It's up to you.
Wow.
are you sure? I don't know.
Kind
This
of
is the right
deviates
way.
from north, though. With the direction Tolly was pointing you guys towards, the spark of light kind of deviates the path into west.
Maybe we should just keep going north. I'm not so sure about this.
Okay. Do you guys wish to move on? Just move forward.
I looked at Cora. I'm like, have you seen a beast like this before?
Cora thinks for a second. Hold on. I actually have to roll for this. Okay. Cora's like thought really hard for a second. I think. I might have heard of it, but it's highly unlikely. Maybe some celestial being, astral being like me, sometimes wanders off and accidentally enters the mortal realm. I mean, maybe it's something like this.
It didn't hurt you, did it, Vanny?
So for Rivani,
It shocked a little, but not really.
yeah, it felt more like a prank than an actual mean to hurt you. Yeah. So what would you guys like to do at this point?
I think we should follow it.
I still kind of want to go north.
Okay. Tully's like, I'm okay either way. I mean, I can still fly up and check the direction.
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea.
Okay. So right now, I mean, I just checked. We were still heading north, like before we stopped. So
I looked at Tully. I'm like, is there anything to the towards where it went that is gonna kill us? Perilous? We're not gonna fall off the waterfall or anything.
Well, I can scout ahead if you want. I mean,
Yes, please.
all right. 9 is actually gonna say, okay. I will accompany her. Though my trade is more towards the city rather than the wilderness, I think some of my skill might help. And yeah, he walks towards Tully as they scout ahead. It take about 5 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes or so. As they returned, they were like, we think there's a secondary stream of water heading that direction. And that's about it. I don't see any. It looks significantly smaller, so I don't think it's anything huge.
Is the stream closer to us than
Actually,
any
it
other?
is.
Okay, let's go there because I don't know about you guys, but I haven't had a nice drink of
Yes.
anything in quite a while. So,
Okay.
Well, I guess so.
Okay. So you guys head.
and we can always follow the stream, right?
Yes.
It tends to cities tend to be near streams.
That
That's
is
true.
very wise. 9.
You're not wrong.
Yep. All right.
It's the headband. It's all about the headband right now.
He looks at the
course.
headband closer and says, not bad for trophy. Okay. And
That's
you
true,
guys
yeah.
walk towards the direction they saw before. And you guys approach to a small stream of water. At about 5 minutes of walking, the water looks pure and untamed and clean, to be precise. You can see the bottom of the stream with small fishes and shells and everything. So, yeah. 9 is actually gonna bend over and touch the water and just sprinkle it on his lips and says, I don't think it's poison or any natural disease to be affected.
Do we still have our water skins? You said
Yeah,
rations are
you
gone.
guys still have water skins. It's empty also. So yeah.
So I'll take a big drink of the water.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Hold on. Let me check something. Let's see. Water skin. Okay. So does everyone do that or just Viking?
Yeah, I'll refill my water skin.
Okay. All right. So you each refilled your water skin with plenty of water and drink some of it. And yeah. It seems fine. Do you wish to proceed? As this moment, as you finish your drinking, more like twinkling lights appear around you guys. Like about 5 of them just appeared out of nowhere and just starts kind of looming around you guys from a distance.
Can I investigate to see if they're trying to tell us anything, or
Okay.
are they investigating us, or?
Yeah, you don't need any checks to know that they are kind of looking, looking at you guys and kind of, not in a harmful way, so to speak. More like they're curious of what you guys are doing.
Oh. I'm gonna use my divine sense.
Mm-hmm.
And are these celestials?
Actually, you don't sense anything. No.
So I know they're not celestials then,
Nope.
or
You
or fiends or undead.
You do sense one celestial. That is Cora on top of your shoulder.
Yeah, she's cool though.
Yep.
Hey,
And partially you. So, yeah, you're the huge beacon of celestial. So yeah, well, half celestial. So yeah.
Just a tad bit.
All right. At this moment, as you guys finish your water skin and everything, the twinkling lights kind of like hide behind the bushes as you guys look closer to them actually. And roll me a Constitution check. Not save.
Check or save?
Just check.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. And a wisdom save, actually. This time is save. Alright. So, for those of you who drank the water, well, that means every one of you. Besides, let's see. Besides Rivani, Viking and Hamura, you both heard a slight scuffling noise. That kind of sounds like laughter. You're not really sure.
Like, did you guys hear that?
hear what?
And as Rivani says, hear what? Something came out of the woods and splat on Rivani's face.
What?
It doesn't hurt, but the juice of it kind of sprinkled over your eyes, and for a second you thought you were attacked, and then you realize it's just a bear.
I just reeled back. Like, wow.
Yeah.
And I reached out to my face to sort of take like the remains of this berry and like, someone just throw a berry at me?
Yep.
So with a 12, can I tell what threw it?
Yeah, it's definitely the same direction as the sparkling light went into. It's the same bush. And at this moment, Hamura and Viking, you both heard more laughter. Tully at this moment says, was that someone laughing?
Yeah, I heard that too, so I'm like, come on out! We know you're there! I like your jokes!
Oh.
We mean you no harm.
Are you talking in persuasion or?
Yeah, persuasion is
Okay.
fine.
Roll me a
They're all the
persuasion
same
check.
stat for me.
Okay.
23.
You heard a slight voice, like, well, Hamura, Viking, and Tully. Rivani, you still don't hear anything. You heard a slight, small tiny voice saying, "You like it?"
Yeah, I like a good joke.
And
Like
then, as
everyone else.
you heard that, something was thrown at your face again. Well, instead of Riveni, it's aiming towards you. And splash, your face is covered with berry juice. Yep. And you hear more laughter coming off the woods.
I'm starting to feel like we're dealing with something fey.
I start laughing. I'm like, ah.
Aw. See, I told you he's gonna like my jokes. And that's what you heard. And you heard someone saying, "Hey, don't just stay put. We don't know why they're here." And then someone you heard a sharper voice saying, "But he likes my joke."
I still don't hear any of this, right?
Yeah, you still don't hear a thing.
You think I'm insane? I'm just like talking to nobody.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. 9 is also looking at you guys like, okay.
We are not here by choice. We were teleported here by mistake, and we're just trying to get back to, friendlier places. We seen smoke recently, and we were hoping we could maybe help. Totally trying to be deceptive.
You heard a voice, the same sharp voice says, "Oh, maybe he can help. He said he's gonna help." And the other says, "No, you just don't. Charming, come back." And before you guys standing right over there, and you see a sparkle, like the same sparkle of light just came out of the bushes, and kind of as the light passes, you see a small tiny figure dressed in kind of like leaves for your not fairly certain what they're made of. They dressed in leaves and with butterfly wings. Sprinkle of powder dust kind of flies off as every time it waves its wings. In front of you, see a tiny figure with green skins and everything. Yeah, and she's like, "I'm charming. So, who are you?"
My name is Vakeen. This is Ravani and Hamura. And the one who likes to take flight is Tully.
Okay, Tully kind of eagerly steps forward. You see blushes coming out of her cheek as she tried to extend her handshake with the tiny hand of whatever that being is.
So we all see that.
You all see this. Even you, Ravani. So, from what you can tell, your friends all suddenly went crazy talking to God knows what, and then something pops up, and you see this sort of like creatures with butterfly wings appeared in front of you.
I sort of go like, "Oh, what's that?" I sort of lean down to get a closer look at the little creature.
Okay, as you lean towards the creature, she kind of looks at you, and you see she kind of struggles, like in her tiny face, she kind of struggles whether or not to go closer to you or back away. You don't see the same. You don't see the problem with Tully. In fact, as Tully reaches out her hand, it kind of parches on her hand.
I'm sorry. You're foreign. Your people are foreign to us larger folk, and I like totally do a bow, and very graceful.
She kind of chuckles as you do the bow, as she
Yeah.
finds it amusing.
I hear you're in need of help. I'm guessing you're low on berries.
Well,
Are you the one who threw a berry at my face? Why'd you do that?
well, it's fun. I mean, like, it's so funny when you were thrown and you don't know anything. Like, you should see the look on your face. She kind of chuckles as you're talking about berries. And then she turns to you, Viking, and says, well, not berry problems. We are pretty good with all our berries and collecting them and brewing them and growing them, and it's kind of our nature. No, what I'm talking about is something else. And she kind of hesitate to. You notice that she's kind of hesitate to say this or do anything, but eventually she kind of gives in and says, "Well, that's the thing. Our village was separated by a huge unknown magic effect. We can't figure out what it is. So, plus you guys are the first one we see in the woods. I mean, maybe you can help us?"
I look back to the others. I'm like, what do you think? Got nothing else to do.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
they-
what? Wait, what? What kind of magic's affecting your home?
It's kind of like a small dome, kind of blocks us from outside and inside. I mean, just a few days ago, our whole village shook in a wild, like, kind of earthquake-like stuff, but that never happens. I mean, that never happens in centuries. So, yeah, we were just wondering what, and then suddenly, we were blocked from our home. Kind of like an invisible dome kind of separates us from inside and outside. So, yeah. Can you help us?
Sure, if you're able to help us find our way out of the forest afterwards.
That will be absolutely no problem. I mean, and before she's gonna say something, a berry was thrown at her head. She's like, "Ow!"
Can I try and catch it?
Okay. You try. Roll me a dex check, just pure dex, or acrobatics.
Oh.
Okay. 2. So
Nope.
you missed the berry.
It's the same.
Yeah. The berries was thrown at that tiny thing's head, and she's like, "Ow! I wasn't gonna say anything." And
I look to her. I'm like,
yeah.
maybe there's a magic dome over your city because of berry protection. Looking at where the berry came from.
Okay, she's kind of like, "Oh no, that's just my silly friends." Well, Jasmine came out now. They're fine. And you see another figure pops out of the woods. She's like looking at you guys weirdly, and you see her fiery hair just grows like higher as she's turned towards Charming and says, "What have I say to you, Charming? No talking to the outsiders. Come on, let's get back to the village." And Charming turns towards her and says, "But they promised to help. I mean, we can't figure it out ourselves." Jasmine kind of looks, kind of struggle for a minute, and is like, "Okay, fine. Just, And she turns towards you guys. Will you guys promise not to tell where we live and our location and everything.
I assure you, we will not tell anybody for the simple fact that we're already lost. So finding our way back is probably not going to be very likely.
That's a good point.
I'm busy looking at the Jasmine's hair and going like, I like your hair. How'd you get it that way?
It's born natural. Okay. And
Ouch.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and she kind of looks suspicious to all of you, like as if she still has her doubt. But she's like, well, it won't get any worse though. Fine, follow me. And she kind of reaches out her hand, drag Charming by the hair. Is like, come on, you're following me as well. And Charming's like, ow, 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 watch the hair, ow. And you guys were lead towards an inner circle, towards the wood. So, it doesn't take much time before you enter a small village hold on, it's not working, okay. Before you enter a small village with a small waterfall. Everything looks so tiny and delicate. So the buildings are made out of small wooden parts, and the domes are partially made of mushrooms and everything to cover it up. And with the small bushes and everything, just looks bright and neat and small.
Ooh.
Yeah. So from afar, you can already see that there's a not all invisible, but more like a semi invisible kind of walls that stood like alongside the village, kind of like gate. So small walls as like blocking, leaning against the side of the like semi-illumined dome. So everything's covered up. It's not really high. The village is not really high. It's about 5 feet or so. As the creatures that were with you guys are like 2 feet tops. Or like 1 feet tops. Sorry.
I looked at them like, where can we see in the dome?
Yes.
Like, is it?
Yeah, it's a
okay.
semi-lucent. Semi-lucent. So you can see inside.
What happened to everybody in the dome?
Well,
do we see them or?
No, like some of us escaped. Some turned into different forms to live longer because we have food supplies in the village, but it's not gonna be enough. Even though half of our villagers are outside. I mean, yeah.
And when did this happen?
Let's think. Just about 2 days ago. So, as you guys can recall, it's about the same time you guys came out of the Underdark.
Oh boy.
I looked to Ravani and Hamura. I'm like, this is your guys' realm. Runes and mystical crap is all on you guys, so do your thing.
Tali and Nina are also backing off like, yep. Totally not my thing. Just go ahead, do your thing.
I can give it a try.
Alright.
Yeah.
So, Hamura and Ravani, you can roll for either Arcana or History. Whoops. Nope. Alright. Ravani. So Hamura, small village are born this way. The creatures that were following you are insane. Yeah, that's what you're thinking. Rivani, you think you are looking at something of a powerful magic? Similar stuff that were known from before your studies. Your master have taught you stuff like force wall or stuff like that. These are the similar effect of such spells, but in a higher state. So, powerful spell like he used to talk about legendary stuff. So, legendary spells like force cage or imprisonment can also do such a thing. So, that's what you think. Similar effect?
Yeah, so I mentioned that this sort of looks like a really powerful. Someone cast like a really powerful force cage over the village.
But why would someone cast it? I mean, this is a huge force, and we never show ourselves in front of strangers besides today. I mean, plus, Jasmine kind of looks at you guys as this. How did you guys get into Feywild?
Wait, this is the Feywild?
Wait, you guys don't know? Oh shit! And Charming kind of like just folds her arm, looking at Jasmine like, seriously, are you kidding me? Like, kind of look like, aren't you the one that tell me not to say anything? Jasmine's like, I'm sorry, and she like face palm and everything. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I sort of start going like, wait, but I thought you got teleported back into the material plane. How are we in the Feywild then?
I would like to
Looks
ask you
like
the same thing.
Benefactor fucked up.
I would like to ask you guys the same thing. I mean, I don't think we're Yeah, why are you guys in here? I mean,
So we were in the Underdark in the material plane,
Yes.
and then Celestial teleported us out into the wrong plane.
Actually, roll me an Arcana check. Steph, everyone can roll for an Arcana check. Actually, Tully's gonna make that as well. Arcana check.
The best I've rolled all night.
Nice.
I've been rolling really well, knock on wood.
Nice.
I rolled a 1.
Arcana. Yeah. You win some, you lose some. That's just the part of the package. Anyway, for Hamura and Viking, you guys think you are in the right place. When Lucian teleported you guys, he teleported you guys to the right plane. Because he only teleported you guys upwards. And you were still able to see path that was crafted by human. It was only until you guys entered deeper into the forest, the path was gone.
I start.
You think you start to panic because you think you enter another plane of existence. Yeah.
I'm actually
I just start going like, how did I not notice we were in a different plane of existence?
Okay. And Jasmine looks at you and says, like, kind of half brokenly says, I would like to ask you the same thing. Yeah. You were gonna say?
I'd tell you if we knew.
Yeah, you were gonna.
I'm okay with being in a different plane of existence, thinking that the people after me is probably not going to find me here.
Okay.
So Detective Vakeen is going to be doing his thing.
Nice.
I'm
gonna start a fire.
Okay. Do you wish to start?
Where
do you wish to start the fire?
collect the wood and stuff, and then I'll be like, I look over to Jasmine. I'm like, you mind just getting in on this? Like thinking her hair might burst.
Okay.
The
So she doesn't really.
probably a few feet away from the thing.
Okay. So she was 20 feet away from you, and it's like.
Yeah, let's say 25 feet from the dome.
Okay. So she looks at you and says, "What?" And then she realizes, as you point at her hair and to the woods, she realized what you're doing, and looks at you angrily, offended, and says, "These are not fire. Well, are not bonfire. You can't just light me. I'm not a match. You can't just put me on the fire and expect me to sparkle. That's not how it works. For the record, I can't do that. I'm not a match. I'm not a candle. I'm not anything."
Okay, when she goes off on a tirade, can I throw a berry at her?
Okay. Where do you wish to? Okay. So
Like
yeah.
exactly what she did. Just shut up and throw the berry at her.
Okay, so you pick up the berry from the ground and chuck a berry at her. The berry, comparing to her size, it's large. So she didn't expect
boulder.
this. So she sunk into the berry, face plant into the berry, and just getting knocked into the woods. You're like, "I'll be
I look at Charming
back."
and just like giggle.
Yeah.
I'm
okay.
like, that is funny.
And Charming's like, giggle alongside with you. It's like, "Yes, finally, yes, someone finally did it, and it's not me. Yes." Okay, so
I like the fire with what I have in my explorer's pack.
So you start a small fire on 25 feet away from the dome with your pack. Probably you have flint or stone or something like that.
I'm pretty sure it's flint in the explorer's pack.
Okay, so you start a small fire alongside it. And Charming looks at you kind of like concerned and says, or at least half concerned. You see, like, other half of her expression is probably excited because she can't tell what you're gonna do next. And she's like, so, do you have an idea how to break it? Or what would you like to do next?
I look at them and I'm like, what have you guys tried?
Well, we try splash water onto the dome. It didn't work. Angry tried to bang her head on the side of the dome. Didn't work. Well, Lily tried to build some flowers around it. Didn't work. So, I don't know.
So I'm going to take one of the logs now that it's burning.
Okay.
And go over to the dome.
Okay.
While you guys are off doing your own thing.
Okay. What are you doing exactly, Homura, at this point?
I don't know anything about face stuff. I'm just
Okay, so
bewildered.
during the time, everyone can roll. Sorry, Riveni, you go ahead first. Go ahead.
I start asking like, does your village have any spellcasters?
Okay. Yeah. So you asked that. Okay. We'll resolve this one thing at a time. So
Okay.
all of you can roll for a history check to see if you have any knowledge of the Feywild, what it is, and everything. All right. So. Okay. I'm gonna roll for Tully to see.
You know, I think we should start doing. Homura should get a item that lets her do golf rolls, because then she'll actually start getting like really high rolls.
Yeah, and really low ones. Anyway, Viking, you know that from folklores and everything, and Riveni, you guys know that Feywild is where Fays resides, and Fey are like there are different types of Fey, and Feywild is a place where good thing becomes better, and like it's kind of like an echo to mortal planes. So good things become better and more bright, and dark things become worse and darker. That's about all you know. And for Rainy, as you ask, is there any spellcaster in the village? Charming looks at you. Jasmine is still not back. She's like flying for a distance. Charming's like looking at you, says, "Spellcasters? Well, we're all spellcasters if you count spellcasting as an ability. We're all spellcasters."
Oh, right.
Yeah, so you know that Fae are born with natural magic.
Then wouldn't there have been anyone in your village who would know how to how to sort of break this forged cage chain?
Well, Papa might know, but he's been missing.
Papa?
Yeah. He's
You know,
our
Papa's
leader
harsh.
and our fierce leader and the smartest one of the village.
Hmm.
But he's been
Well-
away for some time, so yeah.
Hmm.
Like according to him, it's like he's having another episode.
I sort of look at her sideways and what kind of episode?
Well, Wanderlust. Don't you guys have it? I mean,
Oh, that. Yeah. Oh,
yeah. It's like we all experience it at some time when the village becomes boring at some point, and you naturally want to go out, see the world, and everything.
so you're saying he just up and left without telling anyone where he was going?
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Hmm.
I mean, you want to see the world, so it's not like you'll set a destination, right?
Well, I guess that's true.
Wanderlust.
Problem is, I'm not sure if I have magic that's strong enough to crack this first cage on my own.
Ah, I was expecting something from you. Well,
I
fine.
I could try blasting it, but I can't guarantee anything.
Why not? Try it. Just be careful
Oh,
with
alright.
the blasting, okay? I don't want you to burn outside the village. We got a lot of berry farms there, so yeah, just mind your blasting. What are you doing at this moment, Viking?
So I like bend down to the village,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like with the stick that's burning. I'm blowing smoke at the dome to see whether or not the smoke is going in the dome or around it.
Okay. As you blow the smoke towards the dome, you see that some part of it went in. However, the smoke doesn't seem to affect inside the village because just for a few seconds it kind of goes out from an unseen like spot.
Okay, and I'm trying to see whether or not air is going in and out of the dome.
It's
And,
definitely going in and out of the dome.
I like plant the stick, and I'm gonna try and dig underneath the dome.
Okay, so you dig for about 5 minutes, and the force field seems only goes deeper.
Like straight down.
Yeah, straight down.
Okay. All right,
do
I'm
I-
done. I'm gonna go back to the fire.
Okay.
Yeah, as I'll sort of start walking toward it as Faking is doing whatever, and I'll say like, "Hey, can you back up just a sec? I want to see if blasting it does anything."
Jasmine came back at this moment, covered in berry juice and everything, and says, I'll get you back for this, but it's a good one. And she gives you a thumbs up. And then she heard about Rainey's gonna blast the dome and is like, what the hell, just do it. I doubt it worked, but why not? Give it a try.
I look to Jasmine. I'm like, both been buried. Let's call a truce until we get this over and done with, and then you and I can have her out.
She chuckles when you say truth, but then she nods at the end. Is like, okay.
And I like offer to kind of like shake, but I'm
okay.
like,
yeah. She grabs your index finger and give it a nice shook. Just like, yes.
As we're standing back and watching them try to blow up the dome, I'm like, casual conversation with Jasmine, just like,
okay, small talk.
You know, I have wings too. You know, I just keep mine hidden.
Really? I don't have wings though. And she shows you her back. It's like empty. Oh, not like Charming. I can fly, but I don't have wings. So, but
I can't fly, but I have wings.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? Life's not fair.
Probably.
Just shoot the shit with her, random stuff. Anyways.
Yeah. They are just doing small talks. Rainy, so you cast what exactly?
Yeah. So here goes, and
flex for a little bit.
Yeah, and once I
raise my shield above my face as I see him try to cast. I'm like,
okay.
Speak over
I'm gonna stand at like a sort of safe distance at like 30 feet, and I have a vacant. I have a vacant spell. I have a vacant third level spell slot, so I'm going to use that third level spell slot to cast a third level scorching ray.
Okay, do it. Just click on the scorching ray and we'll see.
So and basically I'm sort of aiming all of the rays at like a single concentrated point on the at the wall.
Okay, cool.
So
go ahead, cast it.
So fourth level, I'm firing 4 rays instead of 3.
Third level, you said.
At third level, I'm firing 4 rays instead of 3.
Cool. So it's not only a hit, but also a crit. Yeah. So click on the ray for damage. Okay. So the second one misses.
Yeah.
Click
so
2 more times, and then we'll see the damage.
3.
And another, just 1 more.
4.
Okay. So, the third, like, all 3 of them hits, besides the one that, like, misses. So, you see Rainy kind of summons her inner power and hurls up a bunch of wild energies towards the dome, as the dome kind of getting smacked on. The first one is like make a huge impact on the walls. You swore, Rainy, you swore you heard cracking sound as it kind of feels dampened in. However, as the smoke dust off, you see that the force field is actually unharmed. Well, by the looks of it, it doesn't seem broken or anything.
As I sort of catch my breath and it seems pretty obvious that it hasn't really done much, and so I turn back and and I turn back and say, well, that was pretty much the biggest attack I had. No.
Okay. So yeah, as you finish the fireworks and everything, you notice that with that, you get a random wild magic effect. So you feel like you're getting lighter and lighter and lighter as you start levitating above the ground, about 10 feet high. Yeah.
I try to
I-
grab her foot, but I
I'm like,
can't.
whoa! As I
The
I
thing
realize that-
about that is you're not in control of direction, though.
I've seen this shit before enough with this fucking group. I'm nope. And I'm using this as in throwing a rope around him
Okay.
as a throw weapon. Not a javelin, but like
You just
lasso
impaled
him.
Rivani and pull her down. No. All right. So
it's
you
a throw weapon that I have ready. So
no. So Viking immediately makes shift of a lasso and toss it.
oh no, the
towards-
lasso is always ready with this group from now on.
okay.
The rope is just ready.
Okay. And you toss it around Rivani's neck and pull her down. It doesn't feel good, especially with a hanging rope around your neck. But you're successfully landed and without receiving any kind of damage. So yeah, there's that. However, Rivani is still even though you grab her and like kind of anchor her towards the ground, you think the effect is still happening, and you think you need to keep her like
I'm gonna tie her to a tree.
yeah, like flying a kite kind of way. Yeah, a human kite. So the wild effect lasts because it's a third level spell. It's a third level spell slot. It lasts for 3 hours. So, yeah. So you're gonna be levitated for 3 hours.
Actually, so I'm gonna tie her off to a tree, and then this is the MacGyver in me. I like start reaching around in the bag of holding,
Mm-hmm.
and I like pull out those mace heads that I have with no handles,
Oh.
and I like start lashing just like weights
like a
around,
hot balloon situation, just kind of.
like a diver would have a
Yeah.
weight pack, and like just putting rope through the mace heads, and I'm like, here you go, and I like try and tie it around her waist.
Okay.
As like ballast, so she doesn't fly off.
Jasmine and Charming
Yeah,
are beyond themselves. They are all forced to the floor, laughing their stomach off at this moment. It's like, I can't believe someone would fly like this, like a human kite. That's amazing.
yeah, as
Yeah.
I'm basically like sort of trying to explain like, yeah, it's this thing with my magic. It kind of does weird, tends to do weird stuff whenever I cast spells.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry it didn't work on your force cage though.
It's fine. It's worth it. They're just laughing on the ground. Just
As I'm
can't stop.
fastening this
Yeah.
weight belt, I'm like, it's not the first time we've had this problem. Like, people
I
tend to
envy
float
you
away.
guys. Charming just like holds you around the finger as you're tying around the stuff. It's like, oh, I wish I can join you guys. If it's this funny every day, I'll be dying to join. Well, I guess it's fine. I guess we'll just have to find another way to break the barrier.
I sort of reply with, maybe we should be trying to look for this Papa you mentioned. Maybe he would. I'm sure he would. I'm sure he would probably know what to do with how to
maybe.
Oh, the
but,
spell the porch cage.
it's not like we can find him in a heartbeat. I mean, it takes time, it takes everything, and last I heard, you guys were lost, right?
Well,
We
that's
keep up our
that's true.
promises and send you guys off, and just promise me you guys won't tell. Well, you guys already promised, so I guess it's fine. Anyway, let's
Sure, sure,
have
it's
some
no,
stuff to eat, and we'll
it's no
call
problem.
it a day.
I mean, you guys are cool. It's no problem.
Okay. Yeah, and they start picking berries like nothing ever happened. Just like, fine, this doesn't work. We'll try everything. We'll try something else another time. So you follow them towards another makeshift location. You see a bunch of other tiny creatures similar to Jasmine and Charming. Actually, you guys can roll. You guys already know they are Fae. You just don't know what type of Fae they are. Anyway, you see a bunch of other similar Fae towards Jasmine and Charming in this makeshift camp, as they're like picking berries and farming snails and everything. Just like, okay. So as they return, they're like welcomed by most. Like some of them kind of smack Charming in the head, saying, "What kind of trouble you caused today?" Basically, just like normal villagers welcoming. And after Jasmine and Charming explain the situation about you guys, they also welcome you guys as well. So
when I see them hit Charming, I'm like, "Hey, enough of that bullshit. I'm not going to stand for that. I'll freaking.
They're
you
like,
got a problem with her. You got a problem with me."
Jokingly smacking Charming in the head. It's like, "Oh, what have you done today?" Okay. So do you still wish to yell at them?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm trying to win her favor. But
Okay. Charming's like, "Haha! I have the big fella with me. None of you guys can smack me now. I'll be smacking your butt." And she starts chasing them, and they kind of like furries away, just like, and yeah. Jasmine is more rational, I guess, and she turns toward you guys and says, "Well, we will be collecting berries and fruits and everything, and provide them to you as our thanks for you trying to help us solve our problem. But, you know, our village is way too small. Well, even this makeshift camp is way too small for you guys to fit in. So, maybe just alongside over there, we can make you a nice grass bed, if you like. If you like.
Grass beds don't sound pretty nice.
Okay. Yeah, and she...
as long as we can keep an eye on... as long as we can see the sky, I'm okay with sleeping anywhere.
So, as you look up into the sky, you notice that the tree lines forms a massive, like, blockade towards the sky. So, you now notice that you're in the forest for a really long time, and the natural light sources are already gone. So, how can you guys still see anything? Rainy, that's your major question. Because all of the others have dark vision, they can see perfectly fine. But for you, it's like, it looks bright as day, but no actual sunlight. Yeah.
Jasmine's head is giving off light.
Well, it's way brighter than her hair. But anyway, she's like, thank you for the compliment. I also love my hair. But anyway, here's your place to rest. We'll send you guys off to your path. I hope it's the right direction you guys are looking for. And yeah, just enjoy the warm welcoming from Fae Village. Yeah.
Thank you kindly.
Yeah, she nods and she returns with she returns to the makeshift camp with a bunch of others trying to prepare meals for you guys. In the meantime, you guys were looking around the forest. The forest is stunning, as the small mushrooms and everything form a natural, harmonious environment. You see a few Fae just start walking snails alongside the berry farm. Some riding a hummingbird along the tree lines, doing pickups on pines and stuff, and fruits. So all kinds of stuff. Apple trees and all kinds of fruit trees are able to see around this place. Some may grow out of natural order, as you see pineapples, bananas, watermelons growing on the same tree. It's definitely not a natural sight, but it looks delicious. And you notice that the stuff they're preparing for you guys doesn't have any meat included. They're all just vegetables, salad, fruit salad specifically, with a few sprinkles of water from the from the stream you guys encountered earlier. Yep.
Have we seen any animals other than the fish since we've been here?
Actually, you do.
Like any signs?
Yeah, you see a few small, tiny Fae riding what you think are fox, just from a far glimpse of that. Yeah, and they seem to be racing fox. Yeah, like riders, just racing fox.
Surprised one of them wasn't riding Core.
Crow's actually anxious to approach them, and you see Jasmine kind of returns with the salad and fruit and everything, your meal, in the nice wooden plate for all of you guys to enjoy. As Cora also gets her fair share of a huge bowl of fruits and everything, and she's leaning down and says, "Huh, this looks delicious. I never thought that stuff beyond fish would look so delicious." And she starts chumming, starts eating. Yep. Jasmine kind of accompany you guys on the side, giving you fruit juice, and along with fruit wines and all kinds of stuff, according to personal flavor, actually. Yeah. So you guys have a nice meal in the meantime, and after you finish the meal, you enjoy some of the shows. The Fae presented it. It's probably because it's been a long time. No one has ever been in Feywild. No outsiders have ever been in Feywild for a long time. They kind of being over enthusiastic to show off their skills. They're doing triple backflip and all kinds of acrobatics, dancing and all kinds of flipping and just singing, and it's been a great party. And eventually it came to the night, as the light that emits from just within the air kind of darkens a little bit. And
I'm just completely enjoying the whole thing.
Yeah. What do you guys do in the meantime during the festival? Well, during the banquet.
I'm just gonna be grumpy because I don't know anything about Faye, but I know I don't like them.
They presented you with your favorite wines and all kinds of stuff.
I'm okay because they're not dwarves. Dwarves are assholes.
Tali is having the best time of her life, actually. She's drinking, for the first time you see her drinking fruit wines like crazy, and laughing and talking and just getting herself loose. Yeah. So for Hamura, a bunch of Fays kind of gathers around you guys, doing the waiter job, serving you dishes just right to your mouth and everything. Yeah. Just trying to please you, basically. You eat grudgingly. I would just say that. But yeah. After a while, the whole festival kind of comes to an end as you guys enjoy yourself for a few hours, and they kind of go back to their camp and says, "Well, it's been fun." Jasmine kind of says to you guys and says, "Well, I guess it's time for us to go to sleep. The next morning, I'll show you guys the way out. I mean, after all, you guys are hoping for a way out, so we'll keep up our promises. Yeah, and enjoy the evening."
Okay.
Yeah.
I stifle a yawn and sort of and reply, "Oh, you too. Thanks a lot for everything. I think we had fun."
Don't mention it. It's fine. We haven't, like, most of us haven't seen any visitors for a long time. Oops. And when you heard she says most of us haven't seen outsiders for a long time, she kind of pauses for a second as if she slipped, and then she continues like nothing ever happens and says, "Well, enjoy your evening," and then she walks away.
Which one was
You
that?
too.
Jasmine, actually.
Okay.
So the night, does any one of you want to stand guard, take the night shift?
Yeah, I don't trust anybody. So
Okay.
night shift.
All right. So first shift will be on Viking, and who's the second shift?
I'll take second shift.
Okay, 9 is going to take the third shift, and the fourth one. So yeah, you guys can all have a good night's sleep. So the first shift, you heard nothing. It's uneventful. No abnormal activities. No nothing. The phase look gentle. The phase in the makeshift camp are gently asleep, so nothing really happens. So the second shift, Hamura.
Shit.
You notice that a crackling sound from afar. It was way past past midnight, as the second shift started. You notice that like a huge crackling sound before you are gonna end your shift. What would you
Can
like
I
to
tell
do?
what it is from here?
It's actually near the Fey village, near the dome.
Fuck. I'm gonna go check it out.
Okay, so yeah, you're gonna go check it out alone. Okay, you walk for a few steps towards the location. All of your teammates are sound asleep. You notice that from afar, even with your dark vision, there is a huge blur, kind of darkness, just right on top of the dome. It kind of constantly giving out this slight cracking sound.
Yeah, I'm gonna go wake someone up now.
Okay, so you're not gonna step further. Are you gonna go back to where they're sleeping at?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back.
Okay.
Like once I
so-
see darkness, yeah, I'm going back.
Okay, so you walk back.
I see.
Nothing happens. You still heard the slight crackling sound from the darkness. What would you like to do at this point?
I'm just gonna keep watch here and not go closer to the thing.
Okay. So you finish your shift by hearing constantly the cracking sound, but nothing actually happens. No enemy attack, no wild monsters, no wild magic, no nothing. So yeah, as you end your shift and 9 is about to take over, do you say anything to him? Nope.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell him there's some crackling coming from the dome, but nothing really happened.
Interesting. I guess we can wait for the one night and then go investigate. Rest assured, I'll be standing guard for the rest of the evening while you take a nice rest. I'll wake you guys up if anything happens. Now, go to sleep. Yeah, and you go to sleep. The rest of the evening is fine without anything happens. However, as it nears dawn and almost like when you're in sleep state, you'll sometimes feel that it's about to be morning, and kind of like the awareness of like you are still sleeping. You know fully well you're still sleeping, but you also know it's probably about time to wake up. That kind of feeling. Just around that moment, you heard a loud screaming. Like, it's actually, you actually think you heard, even with your semi-asleep state, you actually heard this one before. It sounds a lot like a banshee's wailing. And that wakes all of you guys up immediately.
I start springing awake, and I'm looking around wildly, still. What the heck was that? What's that scream just now? You all heard that? You all heard that, right?
As you turn around, since all of you guys are awake, first thing you notice is that, wait, where's 9? He's not in this picture at this point.
I start donning my armor.
Sign of him. Okay, so you quickly put up your armor, and as you guys put up your armor, you notice that the makeshift camp where the Fae's temporary lives are also dead quiet.
This isn't looking good, guys.
I tell Tali, I'm like, go recon.
Tali's like, I'm all over it. And she blends into the shadow like nothing.
And fly.
Yeah, she's not flying at this point. She just blends in the shadow around the bush. Well, as you guys are wearing your armor and everything, Tully came back about 2 minutes later and says, guys, I think you need to see this.
Oh no.
Yeah, and he leads you guys towards the makeshift camp. You notice that the residents there are all not breathing. That's the first sight you guys see. And Tolly turns around you guys and says, they are in a weird state. I've checked if Faye has pulses or anything, they don't look like they're dead. Their bodies are still warm. There's no wounds around them. But it's like they're in a deep sleep or something, that they just don't move and don't breathe. I don't know how long this state can last. And also, there's something even weirder. Follow me. Yeah. And she leads you guys towards the dome. You notice that by the side of the dome, you notice 9. But for the first time you saw him, he's not he doesn't have blue energies floating through his cracked bodies. In fact, all of the blue energy that he claimed to support his life are now gone.
Ooh.
I start getting really concerned, so I run over to try and check up on them to
Okay.
see what's wrong with them.
Okay. So, you guys all remember that Nine talked in his cell, saying about not only his creators, but also how he came to be. So the energies floating in his vein are called ether, and that's what seems to be supporting him to go on. But at this moment, there's no small drop of, not even a small drop of ether is in his vein in his body. But you also realize something. He doesn't crumble into dust. Because last time, as you guys saw him, part of him actually crumbles off when he was in his shell. When he was in his cell, and that's what he said was lack of the ether power to support it. But he doesn't crumble into dust at this point. And for Homura, you notice that the cracking sound is gone, but you still see a small, like a tiny, tiny hole of darkness that floats above the dome. That wasn't there yesterday, but it was here now. It's a tiny one.
I'm just gonna catch everyone up on what I saw. And I guess I'm just gonna go towards the evil thing.
What are you guys doing? Homura is catching you guys up. What are you guys doing at this point?
I want to try and sort of disturb one of the unconscious state to see if there's anything I can do to snap it out of its unconscious state.
Okay, so what do you do?
Uh,
Precisely. So you said you want to get him up on his unconscious state. Do you slap him over the face? Do you cure wound him? Do you use medical checks to heal him? What do you do?
if shaking him doesn't work, then
Yeah, shaking him
I'll try
slowly
to do like a medicine check or something.
Okay.
I guess.
You try to shake him awake. No response. Okay, roll for a medicine check.
11.
Okay. You don't see any obvious wounds, and you tried a few common ways to revive someone, maybe a CPR. It doesn't work.
I start thinking there's not really anything I can do at this point, so I go back to where the others are.
What are you doing currently, Viking?
I'm in a defensive stance, scanning for whatever the hell's going on, like enemy-wise.
Okay. You don't see any obvious sight of any sort of hostile resources, the hostile sources. However, you do notice that the area it's slightly darker than yesterday. You were here yesterday. You were here during morning and noon, and all the way to midnight. The brightness seems fancy and pretty. However, it looks a little bit darker now, even in the morning.
So, is there a source of darkness that I can, or is it just everything
roll
is
me a
darker?
Perception check to see if you can tell. Okay.
That's a 9. Since my shield now gives me advantage
Okay. Cool.
on all perception checks.
Nice. So that 9 actually saves you. Because the 1 is something terrible. But anyway.
Yep.
With that, you see there's no actual source, but you get this sense of feeling that it's coming from within the dome. this is a fairly faint feeling, so you are not really sure if that's true. But yeah.
So I'll approach the dome then,
Okay.
and see if there's anything.
You notice the small, black-ish darkness on top of the dome, same as Hamura.
So I will cast light on the tip of my sword and try and poke it
Okay.
or go near it.
Okay. So you cast light on the tip of semi-sealed fate. As you extend the sword tip towards the darkness, you notice that for the light immediately were dispelled, and it was gone. And B, your sword is it's fucking hot at this point. It's like the moment it touches the darkness, it kind of burns in your hand. It burns. So
God damn!
hard.
And I
Yeah.
pull out.
It's almost like heat metal on your hand. It doesn't really hurt you, but it's enough for you to drop it.
Since I'm on my way back, do I see any of this?
Yeah, definitely. You see Viking cautiously approach a
Oh,
small
yeah.
spot you haven't seen before, and then poke it with his sword, and then he kind of drops his sword and says, "Ow."
It burns like fire, but it's dark as night. What witchcraft is this?
But that wasn't there before, right? I
Yeah,
asked
no.
because I sort of
That wasn't there
What?
before.
that's sort of why I asked as I sort of walk closer to it to try and take a closer look at this thing.
Okay.
I pick
How
up my
close
sword
do you
again.
get? Oh, sorry. Viking, you pick up the sword. It's now cool off. It's like nothing ever happened. But you still feel the residual heat on your palm. For Riveni, how close do you get towards the darkness?
Can I make an Arcana check from like 30 feet away?
Definitely. Go ahead.
Okay,
And with that, you notice that something is sparkling within the darkness. It's arcing like some sort of lightning, but it's pure black. You can see through a tiny, tiny peek hole with your sense of Arcana, knowing that there's something in effect.
I will relay that for whatever good that'll do.
Okay.
I ask, is it alive?
I have no idea.
Actually, it feels like it's stretching outward, stretching towards the dome. It doesn't really feel alive, but if a lightning can be alive, that's probably some description of what it's doing. At least it's probably sentient. What would you guys like?
Maybe
to do?
it could be sentient. I'm not. I don't think I know any more than you do. You guys do.
I'll try talking to it. I'm like, I know you're smart lightning or a smart sentient being. What are you trying to do with these people or these fae?
As you said that, the lightning kind of arcs out from the tiny, tiny darkness, reaching towards the dome itself. With a crackling sound, the darkness suddenly gets larger and larger and larger as it eventually turned from a probably a less than a centimeter kind of small darkness to a 5 feet tall kind of darkness circle, a cloud of darkness. And the lightning actually reaches out from this cloud of darkness, attaching itself towards the dome. And starts crackling. What would you guys like to do at this point?
I'm gonna back up.
Okay.
Yeah. I will back up as well to start off with.
Okay. You guys all back up. The lightning kind of stretches even further. Just floating down from the dome onto the ground and attach itself to Nine's foot, actually. In your horror, you see part of his foot starts crumbling into dust.
I'm going to attack.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to pull 9 away.
Okay. So yeah.
When I see that, I get very alarmed at night, and I'll try to throw like a firebolt at it.
Okay. Nice. So surprise round for everyone. Not really surprised.
Leave our friend alone!
Yeah. And for Hamura first, you try to drag 9 away. Roll me a strength check.
Just pure strength?
Yes, just pure strength check.
Okay.
You exhausted your strength, but
By 9.
you don't think you can pull harder enough before the lightning cuts off 9's lower thigh. Yeah,
I'm
like, you could fix that, right? I've seen you do shit.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna stay with him.
Yeah, 9's right leg is completely gone at this point. As you pull him away.
No.
Yeah, and for Viking, roll me an attack.
I was actually gonna do Searing Smite first and then attack him.
Okay, cool.
Fire and darkness.
Okay, so
there's that.
You branded your sword with a sacred smite and channel your energy towards your blade and attack. Roll for the attack. Towards the lightning, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I touched the sword, or when I touched it earlier with the light, was there resistance there?
No, actually.
Okay, well then I'll attack the lightning.
Okay. So you strike true as the blade arcs and hits directly at the lightning. Roll for damage.
Okay. So there's that.
Okay.
10 points, and then I also get a second attack now since I'm level 5.
Nice. And the smite. Remember to put in the smite damage. Yeah. Okay. That second attack also hits. As you backhand and swing the blade towards the lightning, dealing 5 points of slashing damage. And I think Searing Smite only works.
It's only once, I think.
Yeah, once per turn, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Let me see. And the attack deals extra damage to a target.
Do I have to roll? No, it's just extra damage. It doesn't say make an attack roll.
I'm just checking for how many damage during the spell duration. Oh, okay. You can roll for a second one because you attacked twice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. Okay.
So that's 20 points of damage and a con check.
And a con save. So the lightning arcs back. That's the funny part. The lightning arcs back and makes a hissing sound, sort of like a snake when attacked. You don't think your smite extend the burning towards it, as it somehow resists it. It's like, and it retrieves a little bit. So now it's Rivani's turn. Roll me the firebolt damage, firebolt attack at this one. Okay.
29.
20, nice. 21. Nice. Roll me the damage. 8. Nice.
8.
How many bolts can you fire at this point? Just one, right?
It's the firebolt cantrip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So just one. Oh, sorry. My bad. It's
I
just
thought it
one
was
stream.
level 5 was 2.
Yeah. I don't think it's 2 streams. It's just 2d10. I think it's the same. Let me check.
Yeah, I think it is.
Level 5. Yeah, level 5 should be 2d10.
Oh.
Yeah, so
okay.
you can roll me another d10. Just
Okay.
roll another d10. I'll fix that for you.
Okay,
no,
yeah.
It's 2d10. Okay, cool.
Alright, I forgot about that.
That's fine. It's fine. So you already fixed that for you. So you roll
Right.
for the so the firebolt is actually more powerful than you expected, as it kind of puts out one part, like the tip of the black lightning, and it's making a larger, louder hissing sound as it kind of starts to retrieve. So right now, roll me initiative. Initiative time.
Alright.
Nice. All right.
I get advantage now on initiatives. I don't know how to do that in Roll20, but
Just
the thing.
click on the. Do you know that there's advantage if you go check.
I am rolling so poorly tonight.
Yeah.
Even
it's
more
set
so than
to
any other night.
advantage, but it doesn't actually do anything.
Always advantage toggle. Go to the cog. So
Yeah.
on your character sheet there's a cog, and then on the right side, where it says NPC roll queries, select the advantage toggle.
On the right-hand side.
Yeah. Let me show you.
I see it in the middle. There's like under attribute options. There's a
On the
initiative
character
stuff.
Yeah. I mean, roll if you wish to rolling for advantage. I'm gonna show you. Hold on. Showing you how to do it. So on the sheet, on the cog, there's a roll query. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Always advantage toggle, and then you can select advantage on the
Yeah,
side.
but that was always selected anyways.
For some reason, it doesn't apply to initiative. For some reason.
Really?
That's what I'm saying. Is it? Here, I'll roll again, just to throw it out there.
Okay.
Yeah, see, it doesn't.
That's weird.
Anyways, it's a 19.
Okay, got it. So.
Because even under initiative style, there's advantage, normal, disadvantage. Let me try with normal.
Yeah. I don't think that's the case, but okay.
No, I think it just doesn't do it.
Yeah, it just doesn't do it for some reason. I don't know why, but anyway, Viking. I'm gonna type it by hand because there's no token selected in this one.
I don't know why I'm so tired tonight. Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine.
Yes, sorry.
I get it.
Not enough caffeine.
We all get tired from time to time. It's fine.
It's only 8:30. Like, I shouldn't be tired.
Okay. So that will be 19. Hamuro will be 4. And Rivani will have a 21. Nice. Black Lightning. Okay, a 13. Nice. Descending. Okay, cool. So
Is Tally rolling for initiative?
I'm
as
rolling
well?
for hers right now.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just double checking. Advantage, does it work? No, actually. Yeah, 11. Weird.
Okay.
Okay. 11. Okay, cool. Descending. Nice. It's an off-map
Alright.
combat, so yeah. Alright, so first, Rivani, you're ready to roll. It's your turn now. What would
Alright.
you like to do?
I'm actually going to. Try out one of my brand new spells this time.
Okay.
Uh, I turned to Viking and as Viking, go get here, go take it now with this, and I will cast haste on Viking.
Nice. Okay.
Cool.
So
you channel your power with from within as your
to
accelerate. Yeah, to
greatly accelerate his movement.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm gonna click. I'm just looking the magic now. I'm just gonna click it for you because everyone needs to see it. So yeah, so he knows what he's getting. Just saying. Yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, Viking, you feel for a second you tap into another kind of realm as everything around you slows down and like like in a visible rate. As you can see, everything stops. No, just kidding. But everything does slow down significantly. Yeah, and then you realize it's me. I'm getting faster. So Rivani, random wild magic. Okay, it's not working. I'm gonna roll for hand and see. Yeah, haste is a higher level spell, right? It's a level.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one, you actually you actually driven your power faster and stronger as you released a cantrip towards the lightning. So you get a cantrip attack against
okay.
Yeah, the lightning.
Nice. I guess that will be my firebolt again.
Okay. So you roll for it.
So as I'm channeling my haste on Viking, my hand sort of reaches out and my wild magic surge causes another firebolt to fly out of my other hand.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Yeah. Firebolt arcs through the air as it hits directly against the black lightning, dealing 6 points of fire damage as it retrieves and hissing a lot louder and like noisier actually. However, as you hit it, you notice that it kind of splits from one stream to two streams at this point. Yep. That will be the end of your turn. Now will be Viking's turn. Viking, what would you like to do at this point?
I am going to attack it. I don't have a spell card for this though.
Okay. Tell me what you're doing right now.
It's just Divine Smite.
Okay. Divine Smite will be. Let me check. I believe
it's
based
you
on
expend
the
one
level, right?
paladin spell slot to deal radiant damage to the target. In addition to the weapon damage, the extra damage is 2d8 for a first level spell slot plus 1d8 for each spell slot higher.
Than the first one. Maximum to 5d8. Okay.
Yeah.
So how much higher do you wish to spend?
I'll use a level 2 spell slot.
Okay.
I got to do a normal attack roll first.
Yeah.
So
if you hit, then you can spend that.
I'm going to. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it with my shield.
Okay.
And
nice.
as a bonus action,
you have
try
the
and
shield master feat, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think I can knock it prone, but I'll try and hit it just to see if it moves.
Roll for attack. Do you have it set up?
It's a strength. I think it's athletics versus. It's like a grapple, so it's athletics versus athletics or
Roll me an
acrobatics.
check. Okay.
15.
Okay. He beats you by 18. As you smack it, try to smack it in the face. The twin-headed black lightning now arcs in different direction as your shield tries to hit it, but miss, unfortunately.
Okay, and then I'll go for the attack.
Okay.
First one
Nice.
is a 21.
Nice. That definitely hits.
Excellent.
Roll for damage.
Okay, so that's the first attack.
9. Okay.
9 plus 3d8.
Yeah. 3d8.
Well, 3d8.
So
Another
you
9 points of
sliced,
damage.
For the first one, you easily sliced off one of its head as the lightning kind of disappeared in thin air, and it kind of screaks and like crackling even louder. You think that's probably its expression as it's in pain or something. Roll me a second attack. Are you okay?
I'm dying.
Okay.
No, it's okay. I'm all
Right.
good.
So
And-
the second attack flies over its head, as you are hard to keep balance when you first strike with your shield. Yeah, your footing is a little
And
bit
I-
off. So yeah.
I think I get a third attack now.
Yeah, haste. With haste, you definitely get a third attack.
14.
Okay, nice. 14. Oh, hold on. Actually, the third attack actually also misses. You lost your footing so bad as you swing your blade in vain, and it arcs off into the different direction, planting itself actually deeper into the woods, deeper into the ground. Actually, that will be the end of your turn. Actually, I think.
Yep.
Okay. And
He does have like a.
yeah,
has-
bonus action if you
to-
wish to take it. But he already used the bonus action for smite.
Okay. Like he has an additional action because of the haste. Has he used that at this point or?
Oh, actually, I thought it was a third.
Oh, wait.
No, then another.
Wait.
attack,
Wait.
actually.
Smite doesn't take a bonus action. My shield bash is what takes my bonus action.
Yeah.
So there was my first attack, my extra attack from my class, and then the third attack is from haste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But it's
I've used
you can do another attack because it says an additional action instead of additional attack. So what remaining means you can do another attack.
no. I get 2 from my class and 1 from haste.
Yeah, no,
So-
2 from haste. Haste actually an action can be only take. Oh, sorry, 1 weapon attack only. Yeah.
Yeah, you can only take 1 weapon
Okay.
attack only. Like I can't.
Okay.
Yeah, so like haste is
Yeah.
best for like a heavy hitter, like a barbarian, a 2-hander. It's not good for someone like Tully.
Yeah.
To be honest, because smaller attacks, like she hits
Mhm.
often, but weaker attacks.
Yeah.
1 more doesn't do as much for her
Yeah.
as it does for me.
Yeah,
Right.
it's not like a fighter's action surge. I was mistaken it to a fighter's action
Right.
surge. Yeah. So yeah, he is done with his turn.
Okay.
Now will be the Black Lightning's turn. So it kind of arcs off actually. It doesn't really approach you guys. Instead, it's planting itself deeper and more into the ground around the dome as about a quarter of it is already covered in black lightning. That will be the end of the Black Lightning's turn. Tolly is gonna do her thing by throwing. She's back to 27 now. By throwing her baton at it. Let's see. Baton.
I could have 24 AC right now.
Yeah. So yeah. The first one definitely hits with a sneak attack, because someone is around it, and with that definitely strike where it soars, as part of the head actually falls off and disappears. Nice. That's actually there's no sneak attack damage, but that's actually a nice one because it's an 8. So the second offhand baton actually whirls back and into her hand and throws at the target. Part of the body has been struck and cuts off, but nothing more seems to be done other than that. And she's gonna duck back into the shadows, and that will be the end of her turn. Homura, it's your turn now. What would you like to do?
I'm just gonna keep trying to pull 9s away.
Okay, so 9 is already off the battlefield with you. Yeah, you can walk to 25 feet and away. What would you like to do? You still have an action or bonus action, and bonus action.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna. Am I within 60 feet of the black lightning?
Yes, definitely. Even with
I'm
25 feet away, you're still within 60 feet.
I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame at it.
Okay, cool. So just click on the Sacred Flame. Okay. Come on.
Or not.
Nah, the spells. It's been acting weird ever since they changed everything. Sacred Flame.
The Dex saving throw.
Yeah, I need to check for other than that. I need to check.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to websites other than that. Hold on. Sacred Flame 5 feet. Compendium. Come on. Okay. So I think it's 2d8. Dexterity save or 2d8 radiant damage.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
2d8.
What's the DC?
My spell save DC is 13.
Okay. He beats you with the same score, but with his modifier, he gets +1 other bonus. He dodges the flame as it waves heavily, and the rains falling off from the sky doesn't really hit him. So yeah, that will be your action. You still have your bonus action if you wish to use them.
I'm just gonna hold back. Yeah.
Okay. Sacred Flame. Spell attack. Ranged. Radiant. It should work. I wonder why. Hold on, let me check. Oh, it worked.
Of course.
Yeah.
There's a fluke.
It's because I selected. You need to select the spell attack.
Oh, okay.
To see, yeah, I know it's not based on attack. It's based on DC, but you still need to do it in order to make it work. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, there's that, and that will be the end of your turn, I guess, if you're not using any bonus action. And now it'll be Ravani's turn. Ravani, what would you like to do? Seeing that it waves drastically to avoid Homura's attack.
Let's see. Okay. So right now I'm sort of maintaining concentration on my haste spell.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be able to use my would I be able to use my scorching ray on it?
Yeah, definitely. Any spells other than another spell that requires concentration is fine. The thing you need to be aware about is that if you have 2 concentration spells in effect, the second one will like the first one will disappear because the second one will
Right.
replace it. Yeah. Go for
And
it.
and I got all my spell slots back from that
Yeah.
most recent long rest, right?
Yeah, definitely. But you
Uh,
used one.
Yeah,
during the haste, so yeah.
I used one of my I used one of my fertile spell slots for haste.
Yeah. And that's it.
I will use my second fertile slot for scorching ray.
Nice. Then you're all out of third level for now.
Yeah.
Cool. Roll for the scorching ray.
One sec. I think the sorcerer has one ability,
Yeah.
and I think
using
it's
spell
twin
points.
spell.
Yeah.
You can have 2 concentration spells up at once.
Yeah, but she needs to spend the source point.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
all.
there's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
But you have to do them at the same time, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like in one move. So, sorry, continue what you're doing.
Okay. All right. I will cast a. I will cast a third level scorching on
Okay.
the lightning.
Cool. Okay, nice.
One.
That's definitely hit. The first one definitely hits. The second one definitely miss.
However,
Mhm.
I do have a feature that's I can use sort of like wild magic to gain advantage on one of my attack rolls.
Yeah.
So I will actually use that to turn that miss into a hit.
Nice. So
Since-
so you channel your wild magic power as the secondary effect. Kind of, you think you were about to miss, then you at the final moment adjust its angle, and it arcs and hits the black lightning. However, that means 2 more wild magic effect. Actually, 1 more wild magic effect.
He still has more scorching rays.
Yeah, that's the second ray.
Yeah, I know. That's the first.
So-
That's the he casted our third level, so he gets 1
Yeah.
wild magic effect. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the second one, what did you do with your source? Did you use your quicken spell sorcery?
What?
With scorching ray, there's how many rays again? Hold on, let me check.
Third level scorching ray is 4 rays.
Okay, 4 rays. Nice. And that costs 1
So-
water magic effect. Yeah. Sorry. I was just suddenly
Yeah.
mistaken. Yeah.
No, all right.
Okay.
Yeah. Does the one that rolled 15 hit as well, or does that one miss?
15 actually hits.
Okay.
On a hit. Roll at 1, 3 rays. Yeah, 4. Nice. Okay.
Alright,
so
so,
roll for
okay.
damage on all of them, actually.
Nice.
So you see Ravani kind of channels her energy and aims towards the same direction as beams after beams blast on the black lightning, dealing tons of damage against it. That will be a 10. Okay. 6, 12, 22, 28. Nice. That's a huge blast as her final beam like collides at the same spot, dealing a huge amount of damage against it, as part of the dome actually shooken. But the dome is still intact. However, the once quarter covered black lightning now disappeared, leaving just a small stream of lightning residual against the dome. That will be the end of your turn. Do you still wish to move?
Well, you mentioned that there's a number of wild magic surge.
Yes.
What happens with that?
That actually empowered your magic.
Oh,
So it deals double the impact. That's why I
damn.
said the final beam collides and making a loud noise. It's because your wild magic surge boosts that. Only the final beam though. Not all of the damage
Alright.
are doubled. Only the final beam. Yeah. So, yeah.
I'll try to back away a little bit, but uh, but while but making sure I also stay within like
Okay.
the range of in range with Viking for my haste.
Okay, cool. Definitely. No problem. So you back off to a safe distance where you can maintain your spell but not giving up sight's advantage to the black lightning. Smart. That will be the end of your turn. Now it's Viking's turn. Viking, you see your friend blast off like the covering black lightning. But the darkness is still there. There's still a small stream of lightning that needs to be dealt with. What would you like to do?
I'm going to attack it.
Okay, nice.
And yeah, I told you we could talk this out, but no, Mr. Lightning Face and
Mr. Taserface.
Taser Face. Yeah. I am going to attack it with semi-sealed fate.
Nice. First wing, sadly a miss. The lightning.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's thinner actually, so it's getting harder to hit. Actually, it arcs off into distance.
I would have. Since I forgot, I'm going to do my athletics check as my bonus action to push it.
You actually
prone.
Bash it. This time, the +1 sentient shoe, its eyes actually glows for a bit as you bash it against the wall, like against the dome, and it seems like it's hurting badly.
And now I'll attack it again.
Okay, that's definitely a hit. Roll for damage. Okay, nice.
12.
Okay, you cut it with precise precision as you cut it in like half. It's still lingering, but it seems like it's on its last foot. Make your final attack. Nice.
20.
Roll for damage. You
11.
backhanded it with the semi-sealed fate as the final residual part disappeared. And the darkness still lingers, but the lightnings are all gone. Now will be the end of your turn. Now will be the lightning's turn. Lightning, actually all the residual lightning on the dome are gone at this moment, but the darkness thickens and thickens, and in the end you see a hand. A small tiny black hand reaches out from the darkness, grabbing onto the dome, making its way out. That will take him his turn. I'm gonna change its name. Hold on. Now will be and add. I'm gonna roll for it. Okay, nice. It's got a natural 1. Nice.
Someone rolled lower than me.
Yeah, someone lower than you. Oh, sorry. It's Tolly's turn. Whoops. And Hamura, and then the one. Whoops. Sorry. Okay. Now will be Tolly's turn. Tolly is gonna duck into the darkness. She's actually gonna throw the baton at the hand because it looks ominous. And like, yeah, she gives out a yell. It's like, and however, the darkness covers like a lot of the ground, and it's hard to aim actually, making it harder to hit. The offhand baton also misses as the hand kind of swing away from the attack. And that will be the end of Tolly's turn. Now, Hamura, it's your turn. Lightning stopped. Your friends seem to like destroyed it, but there's a black hand reaching out from whatever that darkness is. And now everyone, roll me an intelligence check. Just pure intelligence
Oh,
at this moment.
I'm good at those now.
Yes. Thank goodness.
I'm not.
You're good at it. No. Okay. No. All right.
Freaking one.
Remaining, you feel
TPK.
a traumatic impact once you see the black hand. It resonates
no.
with all the stuff you've seen before, from the parchments. And you take.
Oh no.
Hold on. Okay. Okay. 8 points of psychic damage as your head, it's almost about to explode. Well, from what you can tell. Hamura, you take 4 points of psychic damage as it also resonates with you from the old ruins. Actually, part of your arm, one part of your arm on your elbow side, there's a small ruin that shines in purple color. Only Viking sees that. Well, actually, no one sees that. Yeah,
Cool.
it just sparkles. Yeah, so that's it. For Viking, you withheld the strong, kind of prying sense from other unknown being. But you do also you succeeded everything. You also remember that you think you see this black hand from before. It actually looks an awful lot like the one you were escaping the wizard chamber. It looks like that black hand. Remember, you guys were storming the dragon's tower, accidentally enter a wizard's chamber, and before you escape, a black hand is trying to reach you guys. And just like that.
No.
Yep.
Hey, I think I know this guy.
Yeah. Hamura, what would you like to do? It's your turn now.
I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame again.
Yes, go ahead. I'm gonna roll for his. Okay, 13, right? Okay. So, sadly, it misses him again. The black hand seems to shift in place as it dodges the sacred flame. However, this time the sacred flame actually falls on top of the darkness. You think the darkness is dampened a little bit? You can't tell for sure, but the edge does look more leans towards gray than actual dark. What you still have your bonus action and your movement if you wish to do that.
I'm gonna stay back.
Okay, so you stay back
In case.
in case for emergency. Smart choice.
Yeah.
That will be the end of your turn. Now the black hand's turn. The black hand aiming. It looks like it's trying to aim as it opens up its palm, and all of you sees a black eye opens up in the palm.
Nope.
It looks left and right, and finally its sight landed on Tolly, actually, in the darkness. Yes, and it's
Hey,
gonna
Cat.
do-
Sorry we killed you while you were gone.
We accidentally killed you. Sorry. However, a stream of beams shoots out from the hand towards Tolly. But luckily, she dodges out of the way, taking no damage at all. It's gonna go for another try. Nice. This time, the beam strikes true. It aims for the weak spot as she leaps up into the air and with no place to hide. Dealing. Yep.
I'm going to impose disadvantage
Okay, you're
as
actually
my.
nice. Okay. Second one is actually higher, so it's actually a 19.
Sorry, you fucked.
Yeah. As the beam strikes
tried.
through and dealing 5 points of well, she's not here, but from what you can tell, dealing a lot of damage, and she's frozen in place. 5 plus 2, 7. Okay, so yeah, and like when the beam strikes true, not only is she frozen in place and falling, but also her skin starts to turn in a gray color.
Ooh.
And you notice that. Let me make something. Come on. Okay. The gray part it's about skin deep as it falls as Tolly smack her hand to the tree and smack off a huge chunk of flesh off. And luckily, she's not completely frozen, but she's paralyzed at this point. So yeah, Rimini and Hamura, roll me an Arcana check to determine what it is. Okay, Hamura, you don't know anything. It's really not your day. Come on, come on, girl, you can do better. Rimini.
16.
Yeah, Rimini. You notice that it's probably a petrifying beam that can similar to a Medusa's gaze. So yeah, you wouldn't want to be caught up into that. Hamura, you think it's just a ray of lightning and it's fine. Just shake it off. Just walk it off. It's fine. All right, that will be.
Polly, get up, girl.
Yeah.
Get up.
That will not be the end of its turn as it's trying to pull itself out of the darkness. It grabs onto the edge of the dome, revealing. Before it was just a palm it was just a hand. Now you can see the forearm. That will be the end of its turn. It's trying really hard though, as if something is still dragging it back. Okay, now Rimini, it's your turn now. What would you like to do?
Did that psychic damage from earlier affect my concentration on my spell?
Roll me a Constitution save. I was just about to say it.
Yeah, I had a feeling that I was gonna.
Mm-hmm. 10. All right. It doesn't really take in effect, so it's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
You barely make it, though. Yeah. You think it's gonna affect it, but somehow you maintain control. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do at this point?
You kind of see me like freaking out a little bit from the psychic damage from before, but as I sort of regain myself, I realize to the others that it's okay. It's not that bad. Tally's just petrified. And
okay.
Let's see. What else can I do to this thing? Let's see.
You can do a lot.
I can't really Thunderwave without hitting everyone else.
You got a careful spell. If you wish to use your source point, you can do that.
Yeah, sure. Let me check stuff.
Take your time. Just Don't take it too long.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. I don't think I actually cast Mage Armor on myself yet, did I?
No, not yet.
Uh. Yeah. Yeah. Once I sort of regain myself, I'm gonna cast Mage Armor to protect myself from whatever the heck's gonna come next from that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm uh, uh, at this point I'm basically gonna sort of maintain a position behind Viking as I continue holding my concentration on keeping him paced up.
Okay. Yeah, you do that. So you are just keeping your distance away from it and do nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Cool. Yeah.
so my AC is now 15 for the next little while.
Cool. And rolling for. Okay. As you cast Mage Armor onto yourself, you find yourself blend in with the shadow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. It's cool.
Yeah. And you're now. If you don't move or don't do anything during the round, you will be invisible to outsiders' eyes.
All right.
That's the effect. Okay. That will be the end of your turn. Now will be Viking's turn. Viking, you notice that the eye beam shoots a petrifying gaze along with Riveni hitting her, like hiding herself into the darkness. What would you like to do?
I am going to try and poke it in the eye.
Okay. It's a little bit hard,
well,
though,
actually-
as it's trying to pull itself out with its palm, so it's on the offhand. But you can try. You can totally try.
Oh, okay. So then what I'll do is I'm going to try and like push the hand down with my shield.
Okay.
I don't know.
You mean push it back, though?
Yeah, let me try and shove it back because I can push it 5 feet.
Okay. Do it. All right.
13.
Ah, nice. You shove it hard enough for it to retrieve into the darkness. It wasn't fully aware of what you were gonna do, but when it realized it, it's about too late. So you kind of bash it into the darkness. The darkness is still there, but you can see that not only Homura now, but also everyone can see that once Viking bash it back into it, the outer circle of the darkness kind of dampens, and it turns into gray as the circle getting smaller and smaller. Not really fast though. You think before it closes up, you still have about 2 minutes or so, 1 or 2 minutes, if you don't speed it up. But for now, it looks like it's closing.
Is there still anything to attack, or did I push it back in?
There is. Roll me a perception check. Okay.
11.
You think that you need to somehow find a way to destroy the darkness. Riveni and Homura, actually roll me a perception check as well. I'm actually have Tolly rolling for that as well. She has. Oh, okay, nice.
Oh, my first good roll of the night. Hey.
Nice.
Yay.
Yay.
I noticed something.
Homura's back.
Hey, nice.
All right. So
I got 10.
for Homura, you notice that there's still from probably he probably was sneaking to go without notice, but now you see it. A small part of the vine, kind of like a dark vine, grows from the shadow and attaches itself towards the dome. For Tolly, she also sees that, but furthermore, she sees there are small eyes on top of the vine. just small branching out eyeballs on top of the vine, and yeah.
Yikes.
So Viking, you still have your attack, and you can still do that, but you don't know where to target though.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm still in like battle mode.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ready an attack, anticipating anything.
Okay. So you prepare your attack for anything happens.
Anything to come out of the darkness, basically.
Yep. And that will be the end of your turn. Now it will be Tolly's turn. Tolly, she's gonna shout, "Everyone, aim for the root!" And she points at the part that she just saw earlier that was attached to the dome and the darkness, and she throws her baton. Yeah, she chucks her baton directly towards it. All right, nice. And the baton actually strikes true as it sinks into the vine. You notice that for Viking, you notice that this time, instead of glowing in red, usually when Tolly attacks with her baton, the energy kind of flows on the handle. It looks awfully like vines, awfully like blood veins, and pulsing in red energy. But this time, it seems to be sucking something black. Like energy pulsing, it's black. It's it's a little bit purplish, but most of it's blackness. As the baton returns to her palm, you heard her yelling, "Ugh!" And this time, let's see. Okay. She takes 6 points of dark damage. And you see she kind of kneels over to the ground, her hands clutching tight on her baton, unable to let it go. That will be the end of her turn. Now will be Hamura's turn. Hamura, you see Tolly just about 10 feet away from you, kind of keels over in pain. What would you like to do?
It's a good question. Gonna attack the little vine thing.
Okay.
Maybe killing that will help. I don't know.
So do you use Sacred Flame?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't need to do any rolls because it's stuck in place, and the Sacred Flame actually deals damage to it. Roll me. Click on the damage.
I did.
Oh. Really? Sacred Flame. Oh. What? What the hell is that? Oh, gibberish. Hold on. Let me check.
I got the same thing.
Yeah. Let me check.
Oh, the damage is just the numbers that show up when I click on it.
Oh, really?
No, that's the attack.
Yeah, that's the attack.
It's
the
got
attack
a spell
does
save
show,
DC though.
but
yeah, you should really redrag that out because
I did.
Yeah, she did. Because I helped her, and I don't think that's the.
There we go. I'll click.
Nice. That actually works. Nice. All right. So, it actually burns brighter than you think. So instead of 7, it actually deals 14 points of damage. As the vine shakes, it doesn't shriek, it doesn't scream. There's no vocal parts, but it shakes so harshly that even the shadow even the darkness seems to be shaking along with it. And eventually it crumbles. The ice falls off from the vine and just burst out into a pile of dust. Who are near you? Okay. Viking, roll me a Constitution save.
No.
then you take direct damage. No.
I love
Alright.
it.
I
Yeah.
don't want to.
Right, double, nice. It actually just enough, as the burst of cloud kind of makes you want to cough, but you withheld the urge of coughing, taking no damage. That's nice. Homura, you still have your bonus action and your movement. Do you still wish to do anything, or?
I'm gonna go over and check on Tally.
Okay. She kind of still kneeling on the ground, but she seems a lot better the moment you burst the root into pieces. The darkness actually shrinks a lot faster than you anticipated, as if the root was somehow a vital organ to it. And it shrinks down to a tiny bit until eventually it disappeared. Before the darkness fully disappeared, it makes out a loud wailing sound, kind of echo, and kind of like in a monotone that's so high pitched that you feel like your eardrum is about to burst. It doesn't do physical damage, but you can feel the determined from the voice that you got a feeling it's not the last time you're gonna see this guy, and that will be out of combat. Nicely done. All right.
Just gonna go around, top everyone off, healing word.
Yeah. Just I'm gonna heal you. All right. Roll for a healing word. Heal. Actually. Whoops.
I need to redrag.
Yeah, you need to
everything.
redrag everything.
Uh,
It's a pain, I know, but it's something you have to do.
So rude.
Yeah.
1d4 plus. I
Your charisma modifier, I believe.
think it's wisdom.
Oh, wisdom. Okay.
Yeah, with wisdom.
Okay. So this one is for who? Tully? Or...
For Tally. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. She kind of drops her baton at this point and kind of stands back up, and she's like, "Thanks, Hamra." And
Good call on the roots.
yeah, as she turns towards you, you see blackish vine just disappear right before you cast the spell. Yeah.
yeah, that was.
Ooh, your face.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And she's like, "What?" She
You got
doesn't
some
have
stuff
anything
on
to
your
see though. She's like, I'm feeling better now. Thanks.
Okay.
You
just gonna
still
keep
see
an eye on
blackish vines on her side, especially the right side of her cheek.
Just gonna keep an eye on
What-
that.
Okay.
When I see that, I sort of walk up to her and sort of I try to point it out to her. Yeah, you kind of have something going on there.
Okay. Do you happen to have a mirror or something that I can see?
Good question. Do I actually have a mirror?
No, you don't. You never bought an actual mirror. Advantage, Dungeoneer's pack doesn't provide a mirror, so no, you don't. I can answer that.
Never mind. I'm sure that'll be fine.
Okay.
And
Are you
I'll
guys messing with me? I mean, I don't feel anything wrong. She keeps touching her right cheek, like try to find ink or something. She's like, no, there's
Do
nothing.
we have anything shiny? Mikey, is your sword shiny enough to be a mirror?
Okay.
Oh, I
I
will.
have no idea.
Okay.
I'll also let go of my concentration of the
On the haste.
haste spell,
Okay.
which and that'll actually cause Viking to sort of suffer
Yeah.
a brief wave of exhaustion for for like one turn.
Viking, you were in hyper speed mode, like you're on a fast tracking wagon or something, and all of a sudden it kind of all fades away. The world turns back into its old pacing snail like form, and you kind of feel a kind of a drag onto your body and your spirit, but just for a brief moment.
I turn to the Viking and I say, bet you didn't expect that little rush, huh?
I need more drugs. I feel like I'm coming out
Give
on
me more
high.
drugs. Tolly actually turns to you, Viking, at this point, and says, Viking, my dear, can you hold up your shield, please? I mean, they all said I have something on my cheek.
Sure, I'll hold up the shield. I didn't know if it's shiny or not.
Okay. It'll be shiny if you cast light on it. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and she kind of reflects on her side, and you guys notice that the light shines on her on her right cheek. It kind of forms a small black lotus. It's a abstract shape, but it does look a lot like a lotus. She's like, What is happening? Why is this on my cheek?
Yeah,
You were branded.
Oh,
I-
seriously?
Can I tell what it is by looking at it?
Yeah, roll me an Arcana or History check to see if you can
I'll-
have any idea. Okay, everyone can
Oh.
roll for that.
Always history. Always.
Actually, she's
Never
gonna,
Arcana.
she's gonna do that as well.
I
Alright.
rolled a 9.
9. Viking, do you wish to roll? Nice.
Maybe, maybe
you
not.
and Tully all think that from a past, you heard of something similar, an undead lord well, not really a lord, but a lich who wishes to achieve into a higher power. It's not Vecna, for your knowledge. It's definitely not Vecna. But a similar lich who wishes to achieve for a higher power. Its name is lost in history, but you recall that that's the symbol it uses for a long time. You, Viking, you know this because your Merkel, your deity, actually acquired some of its help before it ascended to godhood. So
I'm like, yeah, that's not a good thing.
We should get that off your cheek.
That's a sign of a lich. You've been marked.
I know, sweetheart. I happen to hear similar stories. For crying out loud.
Okay.
Meanwhile, 9 is in the background, like, I have no
Nine is
leg.
still like. Do you guys? Does any one of you check on 9 at this point?
I
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll
hold on.
actually go over and
Yeah, okay. So for those of you who are checking up on 9, he is still not moving. No sign of the so-called ether energy was pumped back into his body. He's not crumbling, that's a start, but he's also not back.
So I'll go over to him and, like, I've been sucked on before, because of my backstory.
Mhm.
Do I know? Is there any way I could trigger his, like, sucking ability to feed off me?
You think? Well, roll me a medicine check, actually.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
like
I know.
with my
I know.
background.
So you have advantage on the medicine, which you don't need. The medicine check proves out to be fruitful, as these kind of abilities requires like kind of a trigger, kind of like maybe something for you to respond in that. It's like maybe you're threatened, you're like in an imminent danger, and it's like a muscle reflex. It should have kicked in the moment it's in need. But Homura was dragging 9 all the way, and she hasn't been sucked or siphoned at anything. And she's still holding 9's arm.
I'm just gonna shake him.
Yeah,
Come on, buddy.
And nothing
Wake up.
really happens.
Come on, buddy. I'll put a cure wounds into him.
Okay. You pump the cure wound into it. You think you saw, for a brief moment, a blue spark.
I'm just gonna start fixing this.
Yeah,
right now.
that's fine. But you don't need to roll for healing because you don't think it actually works. You see a tiny, tiny blue spark. Maybe it's in your head. Maybe you actually sees it. But anyway, you see this for a split second, and then it's gone. You can't even tell for sure if that's all in your head or it actually does something. Still,
So we seen
no
him
effect.
earlier
Yes.
feeding. Is there any way to,
Feed him?
recall what he had to do?
Oh no, he didn't do anything much. You
Mash
can
some
easily
grass
recall
on
that.
his hand.
Yeah, he just
eat it.
touched the ground, and it kind of activates. Do we touch his hand?
I'll touch his hand. I got no problem with that.
Okay.
I've been fed on once
you
before.
touch his hand, nothing happens.
Smack his other hand into the grass. Like, come on, eat.
Nothing really
Come on,
happens.
buddy.
Like,
Both
start
hands
putting grass
touching-
in, though.
Yeah, nothing really happens.
I,
And from afar. Yeah, sorry.
I start thinking.
Okay.
I start thinking aloud, like if you think maybe that big black darkness thing sucked all the energy out of him or something.
Tully's like, I don't know. I'm panicking. And
I'm
she's
gonna
like,
do this
"Whoa."
probably for nothing, but I'm going to use command and tell him to feed.
Okay. You
Eat, nerd.
commanded and says feed. And
I don't know if
nothing
it
happens.
works if he's unconscious, though.
Nothing happens. Yeah, normally it wouldn't affect it. Yeah, if someone is unconscious. But anyway, either it should or shouldn't. It just won't. It just doesn't kick in.
So he's
Okay,
not-
he's dead. Let's leave.
Okay.
Oh, I'm kidding.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
So do you guys
I still have my headphones on.
do you guys move to check anything, or is that it?
I'm gonna
Sit down on.
check on the other day.
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh.
You walk
If
towards the makeshift camp. They are still there, intact, but they're not breathing like nothing ever changed.
Oh. Everyone.
I guess I'll walk up to Telly to sort of try and get her to
To smack
Oh,
into
down then.
her consciousness. Like,
well, to just like reassure her that we'll figure something out. We just
how am
need
I
to.
not panicking? We got lost in the forest. The nice fae that treats us well are all dead. And now 9 is unconscious. I just got marked by a black hand, and you tell me to calm the fuck down. How am I supposed to do that?
I walk up to her and I slap her right across the face. I'm like, "Damn it, woman!
Ow! Yeah,
Get a hold of yourself!"
you do a
Once-
bad man.
once
Because
Fair
I've never seen Tolly do that.
Yeah.
Just like,
Sorry.
what the
Once we're
hell?
able to sleep on this, I will try something and we'll see if it works.
Fine.
We can try and amputate, and I'm sure that'll work.
How is
No.
that gonna work? It's my head
No.
we're talking about.
No amputating. No.
I'm just spitballing here.
Bad biking. No.
Right.
No amputating.
All right, so the events end as you guys are bickering and talking, and that will be the end of today's sessions. Great job, guys! For no
We
one's
didn't
dead.
die yet.
I was expecting casualties.
We didn't die yet.
Like,
Yeah.
today I was actually expecting casualties. So, good job on not dying. It worked.
Yeah.